As I review, let's react to some new. We're gonna talk about hoflation today. There seems to be some type of disconnect again on what hoflation is. Okay, hoflation is a real thing. Okay, what our great grandfathers had to go through to get the the type of interactions that they were getting at home, they didn't have to be making six figures to do that. We're talking about everyday guys here, everyday men, everyday men, and we actually be a lot of inflation. Okay, when you look at inflation, we actually make more than most of our grandparents and great grandparents did, but we get a lot less for our buck. We get a lot less bang for our buck than they did. And that is also, again, in the household, in the workplace, in everyday interactions. Check this shit out.
Dan, modern men have to work 5 times harder than their grandfathers. For 20 times worse. For women, 20 times worse than what their grandmothers were. What are your thoughts on hoflation? Can't stop it.
Run it back.
Dan, modern men have to work 5 times harder than their grandfathers. For 20 times worse. For women, 20 times worse than what their grandmothers were. What are your thoughts on hoflation?
Men have to work 5 times harder to end up with women who are 20 times worse than their great grandparents. It's amazing.
Can't stop. Anybody have any comments on this?
That's why we need to bring traditional values back. They're so important. This generation is so lost.
Yeah.
So people need
It's
to
never
start
happening though,
speaking.
unfortunately. I think feminism and modern day society has afforded women so many benefits and privileges that traditional relationships no longer afford them. That they're like, dude, you're telling me I can have my cake and eat it too? Why the fuck am I going to be a housewife? Fuck that shit.
No.
Modern day society has afforded women so many benefits and privileges that traditional relationships no longer afford them. That they're like, dude, you're telling me I can have my cake and eat it too? Why
Yeah,
the fuck am I going to be a housewife? Fuck that shit.
exactly. Why would I be a housewife when I can just get the government to pay for all my things? I can get food stamps, low income housing, cash vouchers, daycare vouchers for childcare, so I can send those children out to daycare and do whatever the hell I want to do during the day. Go out, get jammed and rammed. Go out, get gutted out, slutted out. Go out, get shaked and baked, tossed and sauced. It's a continuous pattern. All right. Why would a woman who is getting a free ride want to all of a sudden put that aside and actually have to do something that requires a high degree of character and substance? Why would I, as a woman, want to put myself in a position where I have to be accountable when I can just get a free ride off the government and all the things that these men have provided for me? Okay? Because that's what happened. The government, who, again, is influenced by men who are making these decisions to give women all this power, okay? Because they know that it will fuel the prisons, the prison system. A lot of money's made on that. So if we can get these single mothers to collectively get custody over the children and control the outcomes in those households, which are fatherless households, okay? Then again, that perpetuates a lot of this degeneracy that we're seeing. We can influence people to vote for a camel face Harris just by the fact that she has a similar skin tone as you. It is so amazing how all this stuff ties into one another.
The floodgates are open.
So sad.
Uh, Anybody have a comment on this? Well, hopefully, well, I mean, I thought you would have a comment on it. You were
I
outspoken
mean,
about the OnlyFans girls.
yeah, yeah, feminism, women ruin everything. Feminism has ruined everything for women too. They think that they're fighting for women, but it's actually hurting women the most, and that's the sad thing. And too many women are just hearing, "Become an OnlyFans girl, make your bread, be a boss, babe," and it just is lead. It's honestly a trap. It's leading them down to a life worth of misery, and before they know it, they will be too old to have kids, and no man will want them because the older they get, the more experiences they have, their value goes down, and that's why I try to speak up about it because I feel like not enough young women are hearing this side of things. And I actually got into a Twitter fight.
Whoa. She just went in. We're going back. We gotta hear that again. This is what this is what I'm talking about. I didn't even know she was gonna say this. Whoa. Let's hear it again. Amazingly. This is so well said here. Beautiful work from this woman.
You were
I
outspoken
mean,
about the OnlyFans girls.
yeah, feminism, women ruin everything. Feminism has ruined everything for women too. They think that they're fighting for women, but it's actually hurting women the most, and that's the sad thing. And too many women are just hearing, "Become an OnlyFans girl, make your bread, be a boss, babe," and it just is lead. It's honestly a trap. It's leading them down to a life worth of misery, and before they know it, they will be too old to have kids, and no man will want them because the older they get, the more experiences they have, their value goes down, and that's why I try to speak up about it because I feel like not enough young women are hearing this side of things. And I
N-
actually got into a Twitter fight recently with Iggy Azalea because her failed
Iggy Azalea, she got in a Twitter fight with that bimbo, okay? Because she's out here trying to give women, young women especially, good advice, okay? So that they don't end up being thrashed and trashed, drained and stained, peeled and drilled, flipped and skipped, cocked and blocked. She's just trying to prevent these women from having to deal with these experiences, from from preventing, she's trying to prevent them from having to go through this, okay, because of the negative effects that it has on a woman's children, on whoever they're dealing with, so on and so forth. And they try to package this shit as if it's good for women and it's empowering for women, when it's really sabotaging women and putting them in terrible situations that have lifelong effects. That's what she's saying here. These aren't decisions that these women are making, aren't just going to go away. These are lifelong effects from these decisions that you make at an early age, all right?
it's actually hurting women the most, and that's the sad thing. And too many women are just hearing, "Become an OnlyFans girl, make your bread, be a boss, babe," and it just is lead. It's honestly a trap. It's leading them down to a life worth of misery, and before they know it, they will
Life worth of misery, not just a day or 2 months or 10 years, a life
be too old to have kids, and no man will want them because the older they get, the more experiences they have,
used and abused.
their value goes down, and that's why I try to speak up about it because I feel like not enough young women are hearing this side of things. And I actually got into a Twitter fight recently with Iggy Azalea because her failed rapping career led her to do OnlyFans, and
Oh shit.
she actually asked
Right? That's the type of degenerates that this music uplifts. It puts people on the top like this, who if they were not rapping and putting out this degeneracy, they wouldn't have anything else to do. But because she is now famous and has a vagina, she's able to create an OnlyFans and still make maybe even more off of that than she was able to do with her rap career. Okay?
my husband for a dick pic too on Twitter. It was very strange. A very
Oh shit.
She actually asked my husband for a dick pic too on Twitter. It was very strange. Recently with Iggy Azalea because her failed rapping career led her to do OnlyFans, and
Oh shit.
she actually asked my husband for a dick pic too on Twitter. It was a very strange, sad situation.
Izzy Azella is out here asking people's husbands for dick pics. It's amazing, okay? And it's amazing how this culture gets promoted, okay?
What?
Yeah,
Oh, the mighty have fallen.
she's wild, but she tells young girls to start OnlyFans and she's promoting it. And it's just like, I think it's very different if a girl used to do OnlyFans and kind of speaks down upon it and says this is not right for women. But it's a difference when you see these women, and like you guys have said, women by nature are followers, so they will follow all these girls that they idolize. And so many young women think it's okay to do.
That's why you should not deal with women who have celebrity worshiping ideology. They not only are they going to leave you for a guy celebrity if they get the opportunity, but they will also perpetuate this degeneracy that they get fed from these idiots like Izzy Azalea and the Bad Girls Club and all these just trashy bimbos. They're getting influenced by these trashy bimbos on social media, on reality TV, and they bring that shit back into the home, back into your relationship. I mean, this is wild. And then you got Izzy Azalea, who is a agent of this degeneracy, being paid and sponsored to perpetuate this nonsense. She's telling these girls, go out there, use your best years of your life to be plunged and expunged, to be juiced and reduced, to be bagged and tagged, bottled and throttled, fleeced and released, rizzed and jizzed, okay, to be wrenched and benched. These are the things that Izzy is promoting for young girls to go do.
Follow all these girls that they idolize, and so many young women think it's okay to do OnlyFans, not knowing the consequences that are inevitable, like not being able to find a high value husband. So that's why I like to speak out against it.
Twitter sounds lit, bro. Gonna get back on there.
Isn't it? You just gotta pick and choose what you want to fight.
I made
with.
Twitter. I tweet some random shit like.
No, you're supposed to like retweet, quote, and talk shit to the people that are saying controversy stuff, and that's how everything is like.
I posted my dog Twitter. Posted my feelings and shit.
Fresh. It's not Instagram. You don't just post shit just to post shit.
Yeah,
you post shit to
There's no
talk
hoes on
shit.
Twitter, bro.
All right, I don't know where the hell that's going, but we got another one. I'm gonna read this. Anonymous, and this is talking about, of course, HOFlation. This is a post, allegedly. Now, these are the type of requirements that women are demanding men meet. You must be 6 feet tall. You must make six figures a year. You must look like a Chad, which is a good-looking guy. Must have a college degree. Must have six-pack abs. Must work high-status job. Must do the homework. Must have 9-inch ding dong. Meanwhile, women are obese, 30-year-old roasties. Okay? Meanwhile, women are obese, 30-year-old roasties. Okay? And here we go. My 5'8" granddad was a bricklayer, and he got to marry an early 20s virgin. My dad was a 5'8" bricklayer. My granddad My 5'8" granddad was a bricklayer and got to marry an early 20s virgin who stayed faithful to him and before him and bore him six children. Okay? She birthed six children for this man. And she was a virgin. And this guy is 5'8" and a bricklayer. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. But this is what I'm saying. These men today who are doing this type of work are so less likely to find themselves with a young 20s virgin. They're probably going to end up with a woman who's got a lot of bodies on them. A lot of bodies on them. And the body is going to keep piling up. Modern men have to work 5 times harder than their grandfathers did for women who are 20 times worse than their grandmothers were. Modern men have to work 5 times harder than their grandfathers did for women. Okay? 5 times harder. Imagine working 5 times as hard to get a woman who is 20 times worse than the woman who you were actually um, looking up to growing up. Your grandmother, your mother, your great grandmother, so on and so forth. But by the time it's time for you to pick a woman, you see that you're doing way more things, having to go through way more things than your great grandfather did. Your grandfather did for a even less beneficial result, for a worse outcome. It is amazing. It's called hoflation, and it's destroying the Western's men' desire to be providers and protectors because you don't want to. The whole idea when these women are talking about you're supposed to provide and you're supposed to protect. Well, that also comes with the cost. We're providing and protecting for a woman who is pure, who is loyal, Okay, not for the worldly woman. We're doing that. We're putting our life on the line for the women who are going to honor us. That's the whole point. Because that is the ultimate sacrifice, and we were we have been willing to make that ultimate sacrifice from the beginning of time for the pure women, for the women who bring honor to our names, who make us look good, who make us look good, who bring value to our lives, not the ones who give us a hard time and make us seem like less of a man, not the ones who run our names, drag our names through the dirt after they. I mean, it is amazing. They will drag your name through the dirt. Okay, 170.8 pounds. That's the average weight in the United States for a woman now. More than 5,000 adult females were included in a study published in 2021. The study determined the mean weight by age group and ethnicity. For all females over the age of 20, only over the age of 20. This is exactly what I'm talking about. After they get that 19, that freshman 15 comes. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. By the time I mean I see girls who are 22, 23, 21, and I say, "How old are you?" They tell me. I say, "Damn, you already that damn big? You ain't even." I mean, I see it all the time, all the time. For the females over the age 20, included in the study, the mean weight was 170 pounds plus, which equals 77.5 kilos. The average woman in the 50s had a 27.5 waist, and her bra size was 34B. In 2017, women's waists are 34 inches and wear a 36DD double D. Other differences: women in 2017 are almost 20 pounds heavier. Okay? Almost 20 pounds heavier. 154 versus 136 pounds. And wear larger clothing. There's way more fabric on these clothes. Even though, okay, so it's a double sided sword. So the fabric, there's actually more fabric on the clothes that they were wearing back then because they were dressed a lot more conservatively. But there's bigger sized women walking around the United States today than there was back then. So not only are you going to probably end up with the woman with the high body count, it is more probable that she will also be overweight if we're talking about the West. Okay, so she's gonna have high body count. She's gonna be overweight. She's not gonna be able to make things from scratch. She's not gonna be submissive. She's gonna give you a hard time. She's gonna question things. She's gonna go through your phone. She's gonna want you to provide and protect and be traditional and have all those things that traditional men do. And what do you get in return? Look at the package on this one. Look at this. These are, and it's so annoying when someone comes to me and says, "You're bashing women. You're attacking." No, I'm not. No, I am not. I love women. And I think that women who are still following the traditional values need to have a light shined on them. They need to be uplifted. Okay? And that's what I tell you. You need to start finding those women and dealing with them. This is what I tell men. And that's what I tell you women. Those are the type of women that you need to find and try to replicate what they're doing. Because those women are out here. They are out here. I see them. I talk to them. I deal with them, so on and so forth. But they're they're not the ones who are on Facebook posting all the time. They're not the ones who are on social media all the time. They're not the ones who are so easily accessible to everyone. Those aren't the women that I'm talking about. Well, those are the women that I'm talking about. But those aren't the women that I'm telling you to deal with. Those are women that I'm telling you to avoid. Okay? Because once you weed those out, it becomes much easier for you to then see and realize when you do come across a woman with these values and thinking habits and thinking patterns that are conducive to a successful relationship in the long term. This is what I mean, okay? So, hoflation is real. This is not a myth. I mean, click on this link here. This was the average body count in the 50s. I mean, I'm scared to click on this. I ain't even gonna lie. I am scared to click on that. I'm gonna put the link in the description of this video. What the average body count in the 1950s was for a woman.
Friend of mine, Paul Joseph Watson, has a YouTube channel, and he spoke about this concept of hoflation, ho plus inflation, where when your grandparents, or rather your grandfather, was growing up, he had to do less work to find him a high quality woman, a woman that wanted to stay in the home, a woman that dressed conservatively, a woman that wanted to raise the children, a woman who did not want to be out sleeping with tons of men or putting her naked body on the, oh, of course, then non existent internet,
Hmm. Okay, this is real stuff.
right? Wanting people to see her naked. Now he's saying men have to work harder to find those same women. So they call this concept hoflation. And you are seeing it in this environment as you speak to these women and they talk about how the money that they get is a justification for this lifestyle. And they speak down about men, what is being dubbed hoflation. A friend of mine, Paul Joseph Watson, has a YouTube channel, and he
It's real, y'all. Hoflation is real. And it's affecting us in ways that some of us don't even realize it's affecting us. Okay? It's affecting us in ways that some of us don't even realize it's affecting us. So we're going to keep on talking about it. This isn't the last time you hear me mention hoflation. I will continue to double down and triple down, quadruple down on hoflation. It's just like I will continue to double down, triple down on the fact that these Caitlin Clark haters are are being exposed for the race baiting bigots that they are. Just like I will keep on doubling down on the fact that the average man is enough and deserves a type of interaction with his woman that his great grandfather had. Okay, these are all important things to me. That fathers are very important. Fathers need to be included in the relationship dynamics with their children. Women should not have babies by men who they are not going to respect afterwards. I'll say that again. Women, stop pushing out babies by men who you are not going to respect afterwards. All right? And then you leave those men and end up in a situation now where that children is fatherless. Fatherless children are not in good situations. These statistics are well documented. All right? These are not my opinions. Anytime I come on here, I'm giving you irrefutable empirical evidence. All right? And you take that as opinion just because you don't like it and you may have never heard that part of the truth because you've been so liberalized or liberal washed, whatever the hell you want to call it. These liberals got to your mind so that way, whenever you get near the truth, you will just consciously or subconsciously, you will just subconsciously find yourself going the other way. All right. So stop it with this ideology and stop dealing with women who are going to fall into these statistics. All right. You got to do the vetting. The proper vetting is so important. Proper vetting is so important. Again, I will put the links to these videos also in the description because this is sick work right here. Okay, I'm gonna put this back on here. My 5'8" granddad was a bricklayer and got to marry an early 20s virgin who stayed faithful to him. Okay, who stayed faithful to him and bore him 6 children. So, hoflation, higher body count, higher propensity to cheat, long term relationships. So many disadvantages to dealing with a woman with a high body count. She's more prone to leave you after a while and take your money and go take care of Ray Ray or Clyde or Craig or Chris, Henry, Mark, John, whatever. She's going to take half your money and then go spend it on the guy who's she's getting phoned and boned by, called and clawed by, and that is the type of stuff that I'm trying to save y'all from. Okay, we don't need to keep on putting ourselves in these situations as men. And as women, you don't need to put yourselves in this situation either, because we see that it affects women just as much, if not more, than it does the men. Women are playing against their own best interests by participating in this type of degenerate behavior. The outcomes that the women are getting are not favorable. Even though it seems like it for a very short period of time, as she's mentioned, these are lifelong effects. This isn't something that just goes away once you figure it out. No, this is why it's so important. This is why I keep talking about it. All right. This is why I keep talking about it.
They know it. They will be too old to have kids, and no man will want them because the older they get, the more experiences they have, their value goes down. And that's why I try to speak up about it, because I feel like not enough young women are hearing this side of things. And I actually got into a Twitter fight recently with Iggy Azalea because she
Okay, when she says the more experiences that she has, and she did the quotations, the air quotes. Okay, these things are serious business. Okay, the more times, again, I've continued to double down because of the importance of this. All right, so y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Put the questions in there. Make sure y'all check out the shorts that I've been dropping. Share the videos. All right, like the videos. Make sure if you're not subscribed that you do subscribe. All right, because I'm here to help everybody, making sure that there's less women out here who are getting trashed and who are getting thrashed and passed, mashed and dashed, smashed and passed. Okay, we don't need y'all out here getting nailed and railed, derailed and expelled, pounced and bounced, peeled and drilled, dipped and flipped, skipped. All right. We don't need women that are more masculine, more argumentative, and more overweight than ever. We don't need you all out here being plunged and expunged, juiced and reduced, bottled and throttled, bagged and tagged, wrenched and benched. All right. Piped and swiped. Okay. Swissed and dismissed. We don't need that. We don't need the ones that are being thrusted and dusted, skeeted and deleted. We want the ones who are excited to be homemakers. The ones who are passionate to be homemakers. Okay? That's what we need. And they're out there. So, a man's eye review. On that note, we through.